Hey everyone, it's a beautiful day to learn. In this video, we will be learning about Lesson 11. Lesson 11 is about initial R, final R, and blends BR, DR, FR, GR, KR, and PR. Are you ready? Let's start. But before we officially start our discussion, let's answer first the previous activity during the lesson 17 discussion. So what was your answer for this activity? We have initial Q and long O. So how do we read this one? The answer is co. I hope you're able to get the correct answer. Now let's proceed with the discussion for lesson 18. Our topic is initial R. Initial R, we have to use left hand index finger. Again, to write initial R, we are going to use left hand index finger. So you press initial R using your left hand index finger. As you can see on the screen, the initial R is found on the left part of the keyboard, the initial part of the keyboard. And initial R is below the bank. So the lower bank rather. So you will be using your left index finger to press or to write initial R. Let's try to practice initial R. Okay, ready? Start. Initial R, initial R, initial R. Don't forget to go back to home position right after writing initial R. Again, initial R, 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 initial R. Okay, I hope you were able to write it correctly and you were able to create a muscle memory for initial R. Now let's proceed. We have here other letters for us to practice. Initial H, initial F, initial L, initial Q, initial R, initial H, initial F, initial L, initial Q, initial R, initial H, initial F, initial L, initial Q, initial R. Okay, we have another set of letters. Initial Q, initial F, initial R, initial H, initial L, initial R, initial H, initial Q, initial L, initial F, initial R, initial L, initial Q, initial H, initial F. How was your practice? I hope that you were able to still remember the previous lessons that we had with the other letters from lessons 1 to 17. Now we have consonant blends. So consonant blends are two consonants. For example, we have B and R. So initial B and R is a consonant blend. Both are consonants. So that's what we mean when we say consonant blends. So an application of two consonants. So we have initial BR and we also have initial DR and initial FR. Now let's try to practice these consonant blends. Start. Initial BR, initial BR, initial BR, initial GR, initial GR, initial GR, initial DR, initial DR, initial DR, initial KR, initial KR, initial KR, initial FR, initial FR, initial FR, initial PR, initial PR, initial PR. So how was your practice? I hope you were able to write the proper consonant blends, the correct consonant blends. Well, this is not that easy since sometimes we use a lot of fingers for only the initial letters or the for only using your left fingers or left hand. Okay, we have also here, so it's just the same, no, the blends, but it started with first how they are written. So we have for initial BR, so it starts with initial B and then initial R and then BR. So let's try to have a practice for the rest of the blends and letters. Initial K, initial R, initial KR, initial D, initial R, initial DR, initial P, initial R, initial PR, initial G, initial R, initial GR, initial F, initial R, initial FR. All right, remember that these are all in the initial side of the keyboard, and thus you are going to use your left hand. And we're done with the initial R. Now let's proceed to final R. For final R, we are going to use our right hand index finger. So if for initial R, we used our left hand index finger, then for final R, final side of the keyboard, we will use our right hand index finger. Okay, let's try to practice. Final R, 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 final R. Okay, we'll try another practice. At this time, we'll include the previous letters that we have learned. Final L, final B, final R, final F, final R, final L, final F, final B, final F, final R, final L, final B, final L, final B, final R, final F. I hope you were able to write the letters properly without shadows. So shadow means you were able to write other letters, not part of what you intended to write. We also have final combinations. These are final RD, final RG, final RJ, final RK. Let's try to practice. Final RD, final RG, final RJ, final RK, final RD, final RD, final RG, final RG, final RJ, final RJ, final RK, final RK, final RG, final RG, final RJ, final RJ, final RD, final RK, final RG, final RJ. I know it's not easy, but with constant practice, it becomes easy. Okay? We also have another final combinations here. We have final RL, final RM, final RN, final RP, final RL, final RL, final RM, final RM, final RN, final RN, final RP, final RP. Now let's proceed to words. We have air, arm, bark, and bob. For air, it's long A, final R. For arm, it's vowel A, final RM. For bark, it's initial B, vowel A, final RK. Then bob, initial B, vowel O, final B. Notice that we have applied the final R as well as the final combinations. Let's try to practice. air, arm, bark, bob. Okay, another one, air, bark, arm, bob. Okay, let's proceed to another set of words. We have chair, dare, fire, gear. Okay, chair, initial CH or yes, KH, long A, final R. Dare, initial D, long A, final R. Fire, initial F, long I, final R. Gear, initial G, long E, final R. Let's have a practice. Chair, dare, fire, gear. Again, dare, gear, fire, chair. So for you to download, or I mean to practice more, you may download this or you may revisit this part of the video. Now we still have another set of words to practice. We have jerk, higher, more, and near. For jerk, it's initial J, vowel E, final RK. For higher, initial H, long I, final R. For more, it's initial M, diphthong U, final R. And for near, it's initial N, long E, final R. Let's practice. Ready? Start. Jerk, higher, more, near. Again, higher, jerk, more, near. Now we have another set of words, queer, rain, and ridge. For queer, it's initial Q, long E, final R. Rain, initial R, long A, final N. Then ridge, initial R, vowel I, final J. Let's have a practice. Ready, start. Queer, rain, ridge. Again, rain, queer, ridge. Okay, we have here a theory rule. Write vowel O and R or OR for words that rhyme with the word or in English, such as chore, corn, for, more, and roar. Words that sound like or but spelled with a double O should follow the theory rule you have learned, such as door, floor, and pour. So even if the sound is or, but the spelling has two double O or double O, then that is considered as a diphthong. So with that, we are going to use vowels A and O and not only OR. Okay? So that's a theory rule that we have to remember. So we have here another words, example of words that applies the or OR rather. So we have chore, lure, born, and lord. So these words apply the OR only since they don't have the double O's. So chore, it's initial KH, vowel O, final R. Lure, initial L, vowel O, final R. Born, initial B, vowel O, final RN. Lord, initial L, vowel O, final RD. Let's try to have a practice. Ready, start. Chore, lure, born, Lord. Again, chore, lure, born, Lord. So if you want to learn more and be able to practice and memorize and create muscle memory, just go back to this part and you can go over it again. Now we're almost at the end of this lesson. So we have here an activity. We have words such as perk, pray, ran, and more. Now the question here is for you to give me the outline. So what are the outline, the machine shorthand outline of these words? Okay, I'll be giving you 5 seconds to answer. Please comment down below your answers. Try to answer all of the words as much as possible. But if you cannot, then at least give one or two. So it would be a great practice for you. Okay? I'm giving you 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's reveal the answer. So the answer is for perk, initial P, vowel E, final RK. Did you get the correct answer? How about for pray? Initial PR, long A. And for run, initial R, vowel A, final N, and more. So it's an application of the theory rule about the diphthong. So it's A and O since it's double O. So initial M, the diphthong O, and then final R. Okay, we have another activity. For this activity, I'm giving you the outline, the machine shorthand outline, and you're gonna give me the English translation or the English word of this outline. So we have 3 words. Write your answers in the comment section below. Give me your English words or translation for these words, for these outline. So we'll reveal the answer in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the answer is, so the first word or outline is lard. The second outline, the English word is forge. The third outline is pour. So it's only OR, not A, O, not diphthong O, so it's only OR. Okay? But if it's poor, that like the poverty definition of poor, then it would have been initial P, diphthong O, and final R. So that's where the difference is. And we are now at the end part because I'm giving you now an assignment. So the first one, it's the English word, and you're to give me the machine shorthand outline. Number 2 is an outline, and you're gonna give me the English word. For number 3, it's an English word or the translation. You're gonna give me the outline. And for number 4, it's another outline, and you're gonna give me the English word or the translation. Okay, so please comment your answers below, and we're able to find out the answers for this words for this assignment next video, which will be on lesson 19. I hope to see you on lesson 19. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. God bless. See you next time.